We're going to start with the Adtopsy file. So it's the latest work and we're going to dig into it.
The science of advertising.
KC, which ad is this?
I'm referring to the Four Seasons ad.
You think this is a horrible ad?
I think it is absolutely shocking.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
What blocks very strong.
Hasn't he? Very strong. Well, let's cut to it. This is the latest from Four Seasons.
So, do you want to put a condom on?
Come on, really? What's the worst that could happen?
Oh no! It's unplanned pregnancy! Run! What's that?
Don't tell me you started without me.
Gonorrhea.
You took the D! Now it stings when you pee.
Let go of her, chlamydia!
It burns!
Hey!
Ow.
How'd you like some cranberry juice?
No, you idiot! You're thinking of UTI.
Oh, yeah, right. Look over there! A hen's party!
Is it over?
I think we lost them.
Hi! Mind if I ride shotgun? Syphilis. Nice to meet you.
And that's why you always use a condom. Any questions?
Can you use the same condom for a threesome?
Oh my God.
Asking for a friend.
Time to get it on.
KC, you've came out swinging. Talk to me.
For starters, that ad was made purely for the agency to win an award or throw their hat in the ring for one, not for Gen Z.
Okay, how so?
Well, it starts off looking like an episode of Home and Away, so you're not sure whether it hasn't caught my attention straight away because you just gloss over it. But then the rest of it, these characters, there wasn't one that was really memorable because they threw too many at it just to show off how many they could make with AI for a certain budget. And the intro of chlamydia and all the other points, really probably what it did more is it probably put people off having sex completely versus putting a condom on instead. That's my view. It also, did it really fit into what problem are you really solving? Why am I going to use this? Sex should be fun. This should now be an optional thing that you make sure you're protected for it. That just looked like, I don't know what it did. I lost track of it.
It was an anti-sex ad, was it?
It was an anti-sex
KC?
ad.
Okay, very interesting. Pete.
So interesting. Look, I'm perplexed right from the start with that. My natural sort of narrative, as you know, JR, is to think about creative and media together. And so from what I know about the background of that campaign, I believe it's a socially driven campaign as opposed to a TV first, it's social first. So I congratulate the fact that we're thinking about creative and media together right from the start. So you've got to give them credit where it's due. And I also give them credit creatively for being, which is opposed to your point, Kristian, for being novel and trying to crack the mould, because there are so many moulds out there. That means that ads, fit this kind of this narrative, this template, and they just don't work because they just are so boring as well. So good on them for cracking the mould. Now I'm perplexed in. If you take that a step further, I'm perplexed because apparently the average time you've got on, say, like a Snapchat is 3 to 5 seconds to get your message or your brand out there. Now that does none of that. It's a romantic bedroom setting for quite a while, right? On TikTok, you've got I think 9 to 15 seconds.
You got a bit less than that, and on Meta you got 1.8. So which platform?
Okay, so I'm assuming and providing that it starts on something like a Snapchat or a TikTok, and the fact that you only really get to the the sort of pack shop or the resolve at the end, and of nearly 1.5, 2 minutes. So you've got a lot of work to do to make that ad as sticky as possible. Now I know there's drama and there's action and there's all the characters you've mentioned, Kristian, but my big question is, can it sustain and can it keep you on without flicking through for that long before you get to the sell?
So you don't think this is a good ad?
I just think I applaud the fundamental thinking, but I don't think it's just got way too much work to do to get to the sell. Put it that way.
I think this is a great ad.
Jono.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Why?
For lots of different reasons. So if you go medium, what medium is it actually via? I think this ad has all the hallmarks of something that someone will want to share to a friend or colleague or even post. So if that's coming from a social source rather than an ad feed source, I'll actually want to consume the content that KC has just shared. Characters aren't that memorable, but they've used AI in a way that does make them feel big, scary and gross. This is a problem. The challenge this brand actually has, it's not a brand problem, it's the categories in decline. They have to do a category job because that'll actually drive growth for them. That is actually the problem. So this is problem solution ad once again, but it's like, what is the problem? We need to make that. It's not an anti-sex. You're never going to have kids, like it's so deeply intrinsic with us. We're all going to want to have that drive. It's more, how do we go around it to have a better conversation? And this is probably more a female conversation, helping drive it as well as a male. Like, I think they've done a great job of what is a really, really tricky topic. They've used characters really well. They've used humor, prediction break. Prediction break is incredibly powerful when you get it right. Like, I can't remember.
They got it right?
Hey?
Do you think they got it right?
Humor?
It's
great. What was the line?
You know what? I'd be looking at this.
If you use the D, it stings when you pee.
Okay, that gets close to humour.
Yeah, but it gets like to the point. Cool, you've got a category issue. We need to make people. We need to bring people back into understanding. Cool, there is issue. There's a decline in condom use clearly, and there's sexual STIs coming through. Right, got it. Cool, but who is the demo that is? It's Gen Z. I'm assuming they're putting that ad too, because 4 Seasons is a younger demo. The oldies by Ansel, if it works for them. But are they going to relate with characters like that kind of ad? Just if I look in, say, my social circle, not one person would actually relate to engaging with that ad because it is very techie, it's sci-fi, it's characters. You've already automatically knocked out a whole heap of people.
I agree, and I think if you're relying on shares and going viral, you're relying on you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot. Now, of course, it'll be shared. For
the right reasons.
Good point. You would hope it gets shared for the quirkiness. I imagine that's what their strategy is. But you're asking a lot of an audience that generally gives you 3 to 5 seconds. Normally 3 to 5 seconds. You've got to go, hang on, stay with me for nearly 2 minutes, work out whether your close friends or circle want to see this, and then take the extra step of sharing it, virally. Now, of course, we're just talking about the ad in its complete purity here. We're not talking about cut downs or,
of course.
The fact that it gets to branding a message quicker, and it may do that, and there may be some novelty in that once it establishes the broader narrative. But that's a longer game as well, JR.
Well,
that's a longer game.
This is like a government message on road safety. It's like seatbelts, it's smoking. It actually falls into that category.
It does.
Rather than a brand. And those are longer plays as well, and they're really hard. So the biggest challenge is they've got an environment and market that is going in one way. They've got to try and drag it in a different direction. It's like Dumb Ways to Die. Do you know, when you first heard that, did you go, oh, what are they doing here? They're making fun of people dying. It had humour. It was so different to anything else you saw, but it was incredibly successful, all things considered.
Do we know if it worked?
100% it worked.
Did it?
It changed consumer sentiment.
Not sure. Oh, consumer sentiment. I thought it had to save lives.
Did it not save lives, Pete?
Not that I'm aware, no.
Oh, okay.
So that's the trick. Yeah, but you're right. That's a long-term, slow burn strategy as well. Like you're right. Stop speeding, don't drink and drive, all that type of thing. It takes a huge commitment, and I hope they have the commitment. Of course, the other question is, are they the brand or the category leader? It's incumbent. The category leader usually benefits from a category narrative. If they're not, then they potentially have brand leakage going everywhere to all their competitors as well, which is the last thing you want. So there's a number of factors they really have to play that have to come together to ensure that ad works, as well as novelty, shorter edits, and the evolution of the campaign, which I believe is in train. But if we're talking about that ad and that ad alone and its purity, that's another question.
So if they were to continue on with those characters, do you think this has got a higher propensity to succeed, or you think the concept itself is out?
I personally think the concept itself narrows it down to a small percentage of their demo. Personally, just by the way those characters are done, they would need to really, in my opinion, simplify it and either cut back, focus on one or two, make them the hero so you understand what it is. That was like a ping pong kind of going through. I don't know what these diseases or these STIs look like. So how is it quickly relating to me, right? The other thing you got to think of it as a digital and a social play is it's largely a sound off game, right? That you've got to talk to. That had to tell you what it was. The purple leather, the thing wrapping around his leg. That's the last thing I would have thought that was an STI for. Maybe something out of Game of Thrones.
How else do you do it? So if you create these, call it the enemies, as a character that look disgusting and gross, like how else would you approach it in a way that actually makes it a conversation? Because otherwise you can go too literal or too descriptive, and immediately I've got a version I feel repulsed because it's not a conversation I want to do. It's nearly, you've got to make fun of it in a way so people will actually engage to consume the content, because that's when nearly they made fun of the sex ed class where they play the video and everyone has fallen asleep, because it is that. They've tried to do the opposite of make it fun, let's make it entertaining, let's make it humorous.
That's really interesting that you look at it that way. I actually looked at it the other way. I took it as that ad was that boring, even the class forced to watch it still fell asleep, which is how I felt about the ad.
Yeah. I think it was a pretty clever, strategically clever way to go about it. As you say, you could either take it as a functional communication, which is, tell people the boring facts, which would flat out probably fail. So they've been smart, and full credit to their overall strategy of being quirky, smart, sort of create these characters which are, gruesome and ugly and bad for your health, right? So that's a clever thing to do. I think, as usual, and as in with most things in life, it's the strategy and the execution. And for all the beauty and effort and money and time that goes into strategy, execution can be your undoing. And that's why I have to come back to, thinking about the media and the creative playing together. Great strategy, but there's a lot of things that have got to come together for that to work. A lot of components. Yeah. My God, moving parts everywhere.